All that's left to do is to thread some shells and spikes on. I think that gives us a spine worthy of our Rakshi. Next, we'll move on to the torso. For the torso, I'll start things off with this Hero Factory part, which I'll add some more bones to in order to flesh out the shape of this son of a Makuta. We can then use this skeleton to attach in our spine with a ball joint and a number of clips. The gear aesthetic is one of the most iconic parts of the original Bionicles, so let's use these large gears here as a throwback. We can cover them up with these large dish parts. Next, let's friction weld a rod into the gear to attach the dish and a ball joint for the shoulder. I want to connect the shoulders in here, so we need to figure out a way to do that. Let's start with this socket and add a friction extender. Then, let's add some plates and bracket parts. And while we're at it, I'll construct this little ball joint assembly we can use to attach the extra teeth parts later on. Let's snap that in and attach the shoulder assembly. We can fix the two together with some Technic lift arms. And after, we can start detailing the torso with these large spikes and some assemblies of Technic parts, which we can attach in here. For the bulk of the torso, I'll begin with this Bionicle gearbox, which we can add some pin axles and ball-on beams to. Then, let's snap in some decorative bones and sockets. We can cap that off with another spike part. And then I'll attach a ball joint so that we can clip this large Hero Factory shell part. Then we can build up a little ratchet joint assembly for some more biomechanical details. To the back of the assembly, I'll add some pins, then a couple of lift arms, and even more pins, to which our panel can attach. Finally, a few more Technic connectors can allow us to attach in these large tail parts. And with that, we can connect this into the spine to complete our torso. Then, we can move on to building up a reimagining